Good morning and welcome to the porch. And we're going to do a porch talk this morning. And been a few days since we've done one. We thought we'd do one. Now we've kind of been thinking about doing one on President Donald J. Trump and Marjorie Green Taylor, but we're not ready to do that one yet. Hadn't that been something? So they're kind of at least a part of their controversy between one another is apparently over this Jeffrey Epstein file thing. And I don't think that's all of it at all. I think that's just maybe the straw that broke the camel's back. But let's don't get off in the weeds with that. Let's talk about the Jeffrey Epstein files. And I'm just going to give you an old man's perspective. I'm down here in the South, and I watch some of this stuff. I follow a lot of this stuff pretty close just because I do YouTube and stuff, and I like to, know what's going on in the world and be able to talk about that and maybe be able to diffuse at least part of it and bring some old Southern reasoning to it at times. Now, that may not be something that some folks agree with, but that's all right. That's who I am, and so here we are. So we're sitting here in my office, and it's kind of cold today. I got my little fireplace going, so I'm feeling pretty good. So let's have a shot of this coffee. Boy, that's good. I got to remember what kind of coffee that is. That's really good this morning. So, Jeffrey Epstein and the files. Of course, he's gone, so I don't know that he matters that much anymore, and I don't mean that in the wrong way, but he's not going to do any more damage than he's already done. Now, you know what? I think I'll take that statement back. Even though he's gone, he seems to still be doing an awful lot of damage to people and their careers and things like that. But let's ask why it's important that we see these files to the American people. And I speak as one of the American people. What we want to know, can we trust our law enforcement people, FBI, and local people to do the right thing when it comes to very wealthy and influential people? Do the right thing, treat them like you would treat us. That's the question in the everyday person's life, I think. And so when I look at it from that perspective, that's what I want to see personally. I want to see these people exposed and brought to justice as they need to be. I don't want to see people that have not done anything uh, wrongly accused or thought of just because they've had some kind of association with Epstein. Now, he did a lot of different things, so there's a lot of different associations that could happen there, and some of them are probably innocent. We don't know that because we've never seen the files, but I'm going to assume that some of them probably are. So, having said that, it's important for us to be able to trust the FBI and law enforcement overall. And when they won't release things as high profile as this, the ideal that we get as the American people is that they're hiding something, they're protecting very wealthy and influential people. And I think that way. I think that's actually true. At least it's reasonable to think that way. And why is it important for these people to come to justice? Well, if you were one of the people that were taken advantage of and harmed by their actions, and some of those actions may well be very sick, but if you're harmed and hurt by these actions, you'd like to see justice from that perspective. But also there is the closure thing. To be able to have closure helps you from the psychological standpoint. And this is a part of the whole thing. Now, I'm going to say a little bit about Marjorie Taylor Greene in this, not to get off in the weeds with her again, but she has at least felt like that it was a part of her job to take up the cause here, champion this fight. I don't disagree with that. Now you're going to say, well, are you protecting her? No, I have my thoughts about that, and maybe next week or the week after we'll give you guys my thoughts on that as well. But again, let's don't get down in those weeds. So, do I think that we'll ever see the Epstein files in total? I don't think so. And I think most people don't think they're going to ever see these whole things. We're pushing for that, and it'd be good if we could let the chips fall where they may. But I don't think we will. I think there's far too much money involved here, far too much influence involved here. If there hadn't been, it would have looked like it'd been just a simple thing. Let's get it out and open. Let's make it what it is. Let the chips fall where they may. But that hasn't happened for several years now. They have been chasing this. People have demanded to see these files. And there is another side to this coin. If you've seen all the files, I'm sure there's some pretty damning stuff on there. But I doubt that everything that these people are guilty of is in those files, okay? Now, it was pretty, when we look at Mr. Epstein going to jail and dying basically overnight, and I think anybody with half a brain at least puts a big question mark as to what happened there, rightfully so. I don't think we'll ever know. I think we know the narrative that somebody has fed us. But do I think we'll ever see those files complete and to the public? And the answer is I would almost guarantee no. Now, I may be wrong, and I hope that I am. But just from my perspective, I don't think we'll ever see those files completely. And it, even if you do, I'm assuming there is so much stuff in there and so many things that would have to be litigated that these files and the people that are going to be in these files are probably going to be in court for years and years and years. And that may be what it takes. Now, there's a thought here. Is this fish big enough for us to be frying right now with all the other stuff we got going on in the world? The answer to that is sometimes you don't get the choice about when you fry a fish. Sometimes you have to fry it when you have to fry it. There is a lot of other things going on in the world, but we've been able to juggle more than one thing at a time in our legal system and in our political system. I think we can do this. I think the American people can handle what would come out of this. Would it tear down some houses of cards? I'm only speculating, but I'm going to say probably will, or they would have already released these things. So where do we go from here? Well, where we go from here, uh, keep pushing, keep demanding that we get to the bottom of this at least as much as we can. Now, I don't think we'll ever get to the bottom of it. I'm going to be honest with you. I really don't think you're ever going to get a full story of this whole thing. I think what's going to happen is you're going to get a narrative because of the probably large amount of people involved in this. You're going to have a whole lot of different narratives, different stories. And they're going to get drug out probably for years. Do I think anybody will go to jail right away? Probably. So I'm going to say something to you, and I know most of you are going to agree with this. They're probably going to offer up a few low-level people as a sacrifice to appease us. Let's be careful, folks. Let's don't fall for that again. They do that quite often. They find somebody that they can afford to be without, or they can afford to let go through the crucifixion, so to speak, and they offer them up for that sacrifice. And then while we're over there watching that sacrifice, they going about business as usual. And eventually everybody just forgets it. Oh, we got us a couple guys or whatever, and we're happy now. Let's don't be happy until we get as close to the bottom of that truth as we can. And I don't think we'll ever get to the bottom of it, okay? All right. Well, that's my 2 cents worth, guys, and it's probably worth just about that 2 cents. Yours too, okay? If you have any comments, feel free to put them in there. I like to read them, get other people's take on this. I know what my take is, but it's kind of fun to hear what you guys think occasionally. If you like this video and it was at least entertaining to you, do me a favor. We're trying to build this channel, and we need subscribers, of course. We need viewers, probably more than anything. Need people to hit the like button, the bell icon, and the share, because all these things cause the channel to grow. And for us to continue to do this, we're going to need it to grow. It hasn't brought anything in financially for us, and I've made quite an investment over the last 2 years. Now, I haven't done this to make a lot of money, but I got to be honest with you. It'd be nice if we could get it to where it would monetize and make a little bit of money. All right, enough said about that right there, guys. That's just kind of the way this thing works. We do these videos hoping that we'll say things that'll help people, help people to walk in peace more. We love you guys. You guys stay safe out there. May God bless and have a good day.